Chosen one, listen carefully. There are forces working behind the scenes of your life, some in your favor, others against you. That strange feeling when you realize that not every smile is genuine, that some people approach you, but something in their energy feels off. Have you ever trusted someone who, in the shadows, was rooting for your downfall? Have you ever felt the weight of silent envy hidden behind kind words? Know this: your journey will not only be marked by allies, but also by opportunists, energy vampires, and disguised saboteurs. And the greatest danger does not come from those who attack you openly, but from those who walk beside you, concealed, waiting for the right moment to weaken you. Those who carry a bright light attract both admirers and enemies. This has happened to great spiritual leaders, to those who challenged the world, and even to you. Your brilliance does not go unnoticed. Your presence makes an impact, even when you say nothing. That is why some people, for no apparent reason, reject you or try to diminish you. But the greater danger is not in them. It lies in those who pretend to support you, who praise your achievements while inside they are consumed by envy. Into their eyes, a reflection of their own limitations. In their smiles, an invisible knife. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you called a friend? Have you ever felt that some people only want you around when they can take something from you? This is not a coincidence, it is a sign. And if you do not learn to discern, you will pay a high price. From now on, you will understand something crucial. The enemy rarely presents themselves as such. They hide among hugs, advice, and promises, but there is a way to see them before they cause damage. I will show you the signs, the energies you must perceive, and the behaviors that reveal a false ally. By the end of this video, you will never look at the people around you the same way again. Chosen one, this revelation could save your energy, your mission, and even your life. So, pay attention, because what I am about to tell you could change everything. But before I continue, I have a special request. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. Also, leave the number 777 in the comments to declare to the universe that your intuition and connection with the divine will make you stronger to put an end to those who weaken you. There is a hidden layer of reality that few can perceive. The chosen ones, because they carry something unique within them, end up attracting all kinds of attention. Some come seeking light, others with the desire to extinguish it. Betrayal never comes from afar. It forms within the circle of trust, among those who watch closely, who know your strength, and who, in silence, nurture resentment. A false friend never reveals themselves immediately. They approach, feign admiration, wear the mask of loyalty. But behind the kind words, there is a hidden intention, a desire to be close, not out of love, but out of convenience. The real danger never comes head-on. It sneaks in, occupying space in your life before revealing its true nature. These are the ones who praise you, but cannot stand your rise, who smile but feel discomfort when they see your light shine, who are present in moments of victory but disappear in times of difficulty. Some pretend to support you, but secretly hope for your downfall. Others approach only to extract, to absorb your energy, your ideas, your strength. Their intentions are not declared, but felt. You notice it in the details, in the averted glances, in the comments that seem harmless but carry the weight of envy. Those who cannot generate their own light will try to feed off yours. They walk beside the chosen one, absorbing everything they can, without offering anything in return. They are exhausting presences, always arriving with problems, leaning on your shoulder, but never there when you need them. They demand your attention, but never ask how you are. Over time, the weight of these connections begins to feel like a burden. Exhaustion sets in, thoughts become confused, and your flame, once bright, begins to flicker. The chosen one must learn that not every call for help should be answered. There is a difference between illuminating and allowing yourself to be consumed. False loyalty has many faces. Sometimes it hides in false concern, disguised as advice. The false friend does not directly tell you to give up, but suggests that maybe it's better to wait, that things are difficult, that the risk might be too great. Sweet words with bitter intentions. Small seeds of doubt planted little by little, until your own mind becomes your greatest barrier. The chosen one must be vigilant, because some of the greatest enemies do not use weapons or threats. They use subtle words, calculated gestures, looks that weaken rather than strengthen. Sharp perception is the shield of the chosen one. When they learn to see beyond words, to feel the real energy of those around them, nothing can deceive them anymore. Not every smile is a gesture of friendship, and not every presence is true support. There are those who stay out of interest, who feed off what you have built, and who disappear when they can no longer extract anything. But there are also those who walk beside you by choice, who genuinely celebrate your victories without resentment, who strengthen you in silence. The secret is not to fear the presence of the false, but to recognize the true ones. The chosen ones do not walk among men unnoticed. Their presence disturbs, their existence unsettles those who live in lies, and their strength attracts both allies and enemies. This does not mean they should fear the path, but they must be attentive to the signs. There are people who approach not to add, but to control. They do not want you to fall, but they also do not want you to go too far. They are the ones who pretend to be protectors, but, in reality, create invisible fences around you. They give advice that seems sensible, but, deep down, are disguised chains. They want to keep you accessible, predictable, always within a space where they can reach you. The energy of the chosen one never lies, but the eyes can be deceived. That is why it is essential to learn to listen to what is not said, to feel what lies beyond words. False friends do not need to raise obvious suspicions, because most of them hide in normality. They know you. They know how to convince you, how to gain your trust. They know that to weaken you, they do not need to attack you directly. They just need to sow doubt, subtly manipulate your perceptions, make you question your own journey. They do not want you to stop. They want you to slow down, to feel small, to dim your light so that theirs does not seem so weak. Envy is never loud. It hides in empty-sounding compliments, in advice that does not serve to build, but to divert you from your path. The envious person does not need to say they wish for your failure. Often, they themselves do not realize that their discomfort comes from someone else's light. But the chosen one feels it. They notice it in the details, in the strange silences, in the sudden change in behavior when their victories become too great to ignore. Those who want to see you grow do not impose invisible limits on your progress. They do not try to keep you tied to the past. They do not make you feel guilty for prospering. You do not need to confront those who try to diminish you. The truth always reveals itself, and life takes care of removing those who do not belong on your path. What the chosen one must do is remain firm, unshakable, aware that their mission does not depend on anyone's acceptance. Those who cannot handle your light will distance themselves on their own. Those who remain are the ones who do not feel threatened by your growth, because they understand that there is room for everyone who is aligned with their own truth. The spiritual maturity of the Chosen One is measured not by the number of people around them, but by the quality of the connections they maintain. They no longer worry about proving their worth, because they have already understood that those who truly matter see without them having to say anything. They no longer fear solitude, because they know it is where they grow stronger. They no longer cling to the need for acceptance, because they have discovered that not everyone who smiles wishes for their victory. They walk their path with discernment, knowing that the truth always finds those who are ready to see it. The journey of the Chosen One will never be simple, because they were not made to follow the flow of the crowd. They challenge patterns, question established truths, and awaken intense reactions wherever they go. Their presence is a reminder that there is something beyond the ordinary, and this bothers those who are trapped in mediocrity. Some will look at them with genuine admiration, but many will look at them with a discomfort they cannot explain. Not because the Chosen One has done anything against them, but because their existence reflects everything they could have been and chose not to be. The danger is not only in declared enemies, but in those who are present only to maintain control. These are people who, under the guise of friendship, try to dictate what the Chosen One should do, where they should go, how they should act. They pretend to support, but deep down, they want to ensure that the Chosen One never leaves the space. They consider acceptable. They manipulate through fear, making their concerns seem legitimate, when in reality, what they want is to limit, slow down, and prevent the Chosen One from going beyond what they can reach. The Chosen One must understand that some people only tolerate them as long as they remain within a certain level of comfort. The moment they grow, prosper, and expand, these people begin to distance themselves or subtly sabotage them. They create invisible obstacles, try to divert them from their mission, and make them question themselves. But those who are aligned with their truth do not fear the growth of others. Those who truly walk beside them celebrate every advance, because they understand that one person's light does not extinguish another's. True loyalty does not require sacrificing one's essence. The Chosen One does not need to diminish who they are to be accepted, nor hide their greatness to please those who cannot handle it. Those who truly love them want to see them shine, without resentment, without competition, without the need to feel superior. And that is why they must be attentive to the signs, because envy is never declared, and betrayal never comes announced. It infiltrates, hides behind subtle gestures, manifests in the form of small sabotages that, little by little, try to divert them from what they were destined to be. The wisdom of the Chosen One lies in recognizing these patterns without being shaken. They do not become bitter, only aware. They do not close their heart, but strengthen their perception. They do not lose faith in humanity, but learn to trust less in words and more in actions. They walk their path with discernment, knowing that those who belong to their journey will walk beside them without the need for masks. Silence is a great revealer. The Chosen One learns that they do not need to ask to know who is truly by their side. They just need to observe. People's behavior in the face of their growth speaks louder than any words. Some genuinely rejoice, others remain neutral, but there are those who, without saying anything, show discomfort. These are the ones who distance themselves without explanation, who avoid celebrating your victories, who prefer to offer vague, unenthusiastic praise. These are the ones who want you to advance, but not more than they do, who want you to grow, but not beyond their reach. Envy is a silent feeling, but its impact is devastating. It corrodes bonds, turns allies into hidden rivals, and creates an environment where falsehood disguises itself as friendship. The chosen one must be vigilant, because some people do not directly wish for your downfall, but they want you to remain stagnant. They want you to stay accessible, predictable, always within a space that does not make them feel inferior. And when they realize they can no longer hold you back, some simply disappear, while others try to pull you back into the comfort zone. The great test is not only to identify these false allies, but also to learn to deal with this reality without carrying resentment. The chosen one cannot allow the actions of others to define their own journey. They move forward, knowing that the purity of their purpose is stronger than any hidden intention. They understand that some losses are liberations and that, as painful as it may be to see certain people drift away, it is necessary for them to continue growing without invisible ties. Every betrayal they face serves as a refinement of their spiritual vision. The pain of disappointment is just a harsh teacher, shaping their perception, teaching them to trust their intuition more and the promises of human lips less. The chosen one does not become cold, but learns not to be deceived. They realize that not all connections are meant to last, and that some people enter their lives only to fulfill a temporary role. They teach lessons, raise alerts, and then move on. The chosen one, in turn, continues their journey, now stronger and wiser. The greats. Truth is that those who belong to your destiny will never be driven away by circumstances. Time proves who is genuine. Storms reveal who remains. Those who are bothered by your light will distance themselves, while those who vibrate at the same frequency will stay by your side without you needing to force anything. The chosen one learns that their mission is not to carry those who are not ready to move forward, but to keep going, knowing that the true ones will always find a way to walk alongside them. Time is relentless with false connections. It wears down masks, dissolves illusions, and reveals, with surgical precision, who was there out of convenience and who truly chose to walk alongside. The chosen one does not need to force anything because energies align naturally. Those who vibrate in truth remain, while those with dubious intentions find a reason to drift away. Sometimes this happens without major conflicts, just a quiet distancing. Other times, accumulated envy turns into veiled attacks, small attempts to destabilize, words spoken subtly but laced with poison. Betrayal, when it comes, is rarely a surprise. Deep down, the chosen one already felt it. Something in that person's energy no longer flowed the same way. Small details began to emerge. An averted gaze, a change in tone when speaking about your victories, an absence disguised as a lack of time. Instinct never lies, but often the heart hesitates to accept what is already evident. Attachment to old bonds can blind, can make the chosen one try to justify the unjustifiable, insist on connections that have already proven to be fragile. But the truth always prevails, and sooner or later, what was hidden is revealed. The chosen one must understand that their path does not allow for unnecessary ties. Every bond carries a weight, and some are as light as the wind, while others are invisible chains. There are friendships that propel, but there are others that imprison, that make the journey more difficult, that drain energy instead of strengthening it. Keeping close those who have already shown they are not aligned with their journey is a luxury they cannot afford. The extra weight compromises progress, and the mission is too great to be jeopardized by misguided loyalties. It is not about living in suspicion, but about learning to listen to what is not said. Not all betrayal comes in a grand, obvious gesture. Often it manifests in small omissions, calculated actions, subtle sabotages, those who pretend to support but become absent in decisive moments, who say they are rooting for you but never extend a hand when needed, who show up when everything is fine but are the first to disappear when the journey requires resilience. The chosen one learns that words matter less than actions, and that true presence is revealed in the most difficult moments. Spiritual maturity comes when they understand that solitude is not a punishment, but a natural filtering. Destiny selects who stays and who leaves. What must remain is never lost, and what drifts away was never essential. The chosen one does not need to carry resentment for those who showed their true intentions. They simply accept, move forward, and trust that every distancing opens space for more aligned, purer, truer connections. Their energy becomes a natural filter, and only those who truly belong to their path will remain by their side. The energy of the chosen one cannot be shared with just anyone. Their presence has a profound impact on the environments they pass through, and this awakens various reactions. Some feel inspired, others uncomfortable, and there are those who, without realizing it, try to feed off what they carry. The difference between those who add and those who take is not always visible at first glance, but, over time, the signs become impossible to ignore. The exhaustion after certain conversations, the feeling of heaviness around certain people, the inexplicable fatigue after seemingly harmless encounters, all of these are warnings. The soul speaks before the mind understands, and it is up to the chosen one to learn to listen. False allies do not always have openly bad intentions. Some simply cannot handle someone else's light, and instead of being inspired to ignite their own flame, they try to extinguish the brightness that bothers them. Others act on instinct, pulling down those who begin to rise, not out of malice, but out of fear of being left behind. They cannot bear to see the chosen one grow without including them, without being able to claim part of the journey, without having some influence over their steps. They do not want the fall, but they also do not accept the rise. The freedom of the chosen one bothers because it escapes the control of those who live in limitation. The greatest offense they can commit against those who do not vibrate in truth is to follow their path without needing anyone's validation. What hurts the false friend the most is not rejection, but indifference. They expect the chosen one to crave their presence, to seek their acceptance, to try to maintain a bond that has already lost its meaning. But when they realize there is no attachment, that the chosen one moves forward without looking back, their mask falls apart. It is at this moment that betrayal is fully revealed. There is no need to confront those who have already distanced themselves on their own. The chosen one understands that life takes care of removing those who should not remain by their side. They hold no grudges, because they know that every connection had its purpose, and that some lessons can only be learned through disappointment. They do not need explanations, do not demand dramatic farewells. They simply move forward, letting time do its work, and allowing the truth to continue separating what is real from what was always an illusion. Peace comes when they realize they have lost nothing. Those who left were not sustaining them. Those who drifted away were not part of the future. The chosen one does not need to worry about who leaves their path, but rather to strengthen those who remain. True connections do not need to be forced. They are light, they flow naturally, they grow alongside them. While the false ones dissolve into the past, the true ones become even more visible. And these are the ones that matter. These are the ones who make the journey worthwhile. The solitude of the chosen one is not a burden, but a gift. It is in silence that they reconnect with their essence, away from the voices that try to divert them from their purpose. Those who truly walk alongside them do not demand constant presence. because they understand that there are moments when isolation is necessary for evolution. Those who are bothered by their absence, who demand explanations, who claim their energy, as if they had a right to it, reveal their true purpose. They do not want a companion on the journey. They want a pillar to lean on. But the chosen one cannot carry weights that do not belong to them. True power lies not in having many around, but in knowing exactly whom to connect with. Superficial bonds are like leaves in the wind. They scatter at the slightest sign of change. Genuine connections, however, are deep roots, capable of withstanding time and storms. The chosen one learns that they do not need to prove anything to anyone. Those who truly understand them do not ask for explanations, do not demand justifications. They feel, they know, they remain without needing grand declarations because the truth of the connection is enough. Spiritual awareness comes with a price, the need to distance oneself from what does not vibrate at the same frequency. This distancing does not need to be abrupt, does not need to be marked by conflicts. It happens naturally, like a river changing its course, like leaves falling in autumn without the tree needing to force them to let go. The chosen one does not need to insist on maintaining something that has already lost its meaning. What no longer belongs to their journey dissolves, and they learn to accept this without resistance. Some will watch from afar, trying to understand. What has changed? It is not the chosen one who has transformed, but their perception that has become sharper. They no longer tolerate what they once ignored, no longer pretend not to see what once went unnoticed. And this frightens, because those who were accustomed to their accessible energy now feel they no longer have the same space. They feel they have been filtered, that they no longer have the same power over them, and, deep down, that is what bothers them the most. Those who vibrate in truth continue alongside, effortlessly, without resistance. Those who carried hidden intentions drift away, not by the chosen one's choice, but because their energy no longer sustains them. Light only bothers those who still live in the shadows. Those who shine with authenticity do not fear the light of others. And this is how the chosen one learns to distinguish. Those who remain are the ones who never felt threatened by their greatness, but were inspired by it. The chosen one no longer gets lost in goodbyes. They have learned that not every distancing is a loss, and that some absences are, in fact, liberations. The cycle repeats. Faces come and go, connections form and dissolve, and each one leaves a lesson. But what remains is the essence, the mission, the strength that nothing can erase. They do not need to hold on to those who have already chosen to leave, nor insist on keeping close those who have already shown they do not deserve that space. Their energy is too valuable to be wasted on bonds that do not sustain their truth. Truth is a watershed. It separates those who walk in authenticity from those who live in appearances. The chosen one cannot be deceived by pretty words or calculated gestures, because they feel what is not said. They read the emptiness between the lines, perceive the vibrations behind the smiles. They no longer fall for empty promises, are no longer fooled by temporary support. They know that those who try to weaken them cannot withstand the firmness of those who do not bend. And so, they keep trying, while the chosen one simply keeps moving forward. There is no resentment, only understanding. The chosen one does not hold grudges against those who tried to divert them from their path, because they understand that each person can only offer what they have within. They do not cling to the past, do not seek revenge, do not exhaust themselves trying to change those who do not want to change. Their only mission is to remain faithful to their essence, without carrying unnecessary weights. They honor their purpose, keep their light burning, and allow time to reveal everything that needs to be seen. The maturity of the chosen one lies in knowing they do not need to justify themselves. They do not need to explain their absence, nor prove their loyalty. To those who have already shown, they do not deserve it. They do not waste time trying to convince those who have already decided not to see. They simply move forward, in peace, knowing that their journey is not for everyone. And that is okay. The path of the chosen one is not about quantity, but about quality. They do not need many around them. They only need the right ones, and this is how they move forward, aware, strengthened, unshakable, leaving behind what no longer serves them, carrying only what truly matters. The chosen one does not fear those who try to extinguish them, because they understand that their light cannot be overshadowed by passing shadows. They move forward, without fear, without doubt, without looking back, because those who belong to their destiny will always find a way to remain. The path of the chosen one will never be easy, but that is exactly what makes it great. Every loss, every distancing, every disappointment is just a natural filter, leaving by their side only what truly resonates with their essence. You were not made to please everyone, nor to be understood by those who still live in illusion. Your mission is greater than any bond that tries to hold you back. Your light cannot be dimmed by those who are bothered by your brightness. And, in the end, what remains is not solitude, but the certainty that those who stay are the ones who truly matter. Now that you understand this truth, move forward without fear. Do not waste time justifying your choices to those who have already decided not to see. Do not exhaust yourself trying to hold on to those who should have been left behind. Life takes care of aligning everything at the right time. Trust the process, protect your energy, and keep moving forward. You do not need many around you. You only need the right ones. If this message resonated with you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps this message reach more chosen ones who need this truth. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next content, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this today. Also, don't forget to leave the number 777 in the comments to declare that you are ready for divine intervention, and continue your journey by watching the recommended video on the screen. Here, you will find more transformative messages to nourish your journey. May your journey be illuminated, and may you never lose the courage to follow your instincts. Until the next video, and may the peace of God always be with you.